happened on it yesterday, so I think it's Dignitas all the way.
I'm inclined to agree. Anyway, we're going to get into the game. Thanks for your thoughts, gentlemen. Take it away, boys.
Thank you guys so much. So here we are with Cloud9 again, back on cash. They didn't find the results they wanted last night against Gambit Gaming. That's what's landed them down here against Dignitas. Again, a team not finding the results they wanted here at this tournament, the major qualifier for the first major for $1 million in North America. What are your thoughts, Launders?
My thoughts is that there's going to be a lot of pressure on Cloud9. We heard some doubts from them in the back room, you know, just worried about how they're going to do in this matchup. It was concerning. I mean, part of it could be the fact that they got so much backlash, most likely. And they hopped on Twitter, checked Reddit, listened to the analysts.
Mistake,
yeah, I mean, for sure. But as a matter of preparation, I feel like they're a little bit behind Dignitas, and I think they know it, but we'll see if their issues can be resolved right now on cash.
Well, there's Skadoodle to start it off. Cloud9 with standard play here on cash, a retake situation on the defense, and it's Skadoodle and nothing to land the first headshots, bringing down Config and Rubino. 5-on-3 retake now, but Dignitas have got that bomb down. Player at Forklift, that's going to be Tensky. The nice little flash out allows him to go into A main, taking a fight, can get nothing done. Stewie 2K, and then nothing again. Now MSL alone versus 5. He's killed one of them, going in for a second, can't get it done, and Cloud9 find the pistol round.
Yeah, a lot of confidence coming out from them. Getting those first 2 shots is obviously the most important part of this retake, or playing retake on A. The smokes came out, and the smokes popped after people peeked, and that's why Dignitas lost 2 men right off the bat. Now, the thing is, they got the bomb down, and they have a lot of power here. They can force certain buys out of Cloud9, and that's what they're going to be aiming to do, and we'll see as the buys come out who's going to get what. And I think we've only got 2 rifles so far, 3 rifles. And so they're playing it relatively safe. Ideally, all the kills come into Shroud and Freakazoid, and they make the most money off of it. Dignitas here, obviously looking to buy next round. And I guess we'll just try to make it expensive. Freakazoid taking a PK main, seeing a couple of players.
Yeah, even 2 kills at this point can make it very expensive, because that P90's, well, it costs a lot of money. Tensky will bring down Shroud, so that's, okay, that was just the MP9, which is maybe why he was a little more inclined to try to make the big play, because he gives that gun up and it's not all that dangerous. Losing one person, and he was operating alone, right? There was no one going to follow that up and trade it, and now Stewie 2K has fallen. He gets one, traded out. Rubino strikes back onto Freakazoid, 3-on-2 now, just nothing in Skadoodle. And right away we see it was mentioned on the desk. Maybe those Stewie 2K, he'd get a kill, but then he's just too easy to trade on.
Oh man, that had to be a huge area of play there. I mean, Freakazoid got that information on A main. He saw 1 or 2 people. Didn't know if they were completely grouped. I don't know what was called, but Shroud running through B site all the way into mid main. And then not getting... Oh, wow, they actually performed the retake, though. Just as I was talking, I was worried that this round was over, but I guess in the hands of nothing and Skadoodle having 2 rifles made the difference, and they really just bailed their team out, because I feel like making it 5v4 that early gave Dignitas a lot of confidence. I mean, they only picked up an MP9 off of it, but they got a kill for free. I mean, Shroud wasn't even able to do damage because he got shot in the side of the head. Seems so confident running away from B that he wasn't going to see anybody for whatever reason.
Yeah, I don't get that either. Didn't even check the corner. I mean, you know you're going to be going up against pistols, likely not even upgraded as they got the plant the first round. Just jump check every single corner with an MP9, and you're almost invincible. But instead goes down for free, and that was very worrying. And it also gave so much money to Dignitas. Yes, they've lost 2 rounds in a row, but that's 2 plants. That's so much money. And Cloud9, well, some of their submachine guns died, so they were forced to upgrade. Freakazoid's still on a P90. That one they got back at the end of the round.
Yeah, we have Dignitas sped up to a really, really simple, standard default. Somebody watching everything, and Tensky just holding the B push, waiting for Cloud9 to make a mistake like they did last round, and I don't think they will find that from them here. Now, the powerful position at the moment is nothing. He has vents, and because of that, he has a rotate to A. He's also a rotate for mid, and they haven't actually mollied him out. He's actually going to counter molly to make sure they can't run out lower mid on him.
Well, Vents is gone now. The Molotov goes in. So Team Dignitas being careful and using their utility to take that map control. So nothing pushed back into Checker now. And the bomb is actually starting to make its way back to the B site. Dignitas full control of middle with 3 players out here. I think one might still be on the boost, and they're going to try to split in through the vents in B main. It's just Shroud now defending, as nothing has left Checker and actually went back to the Z connector.
Yeah, and now Shroud's going to have a lot of pressure put on him. Rotations have been controlled. Nothing has to come through CT, which is going to be smoked out. The flash is bad. The solo man on the site goes down, and now they can plant.
Okay, nothing's going to push through the smoke very, very quickly, but met with resistance. MSL in the headshot. Config grabs one more into Freakazoid. The battle. The spam through that garage door. A little bit of damage done, but Stewie, 2K, and Skadoodle are going to have to back off this round.
So
let's pretty much forfeit at this point.
Let's talk about that round there, because I mean it was textbook from Dignitas. They just went for late mid control, and the reason it worked so well was because Cloud9 had one person there, and that was nothing in the vent. And all they had to do was throw a simple molly at him, and suddenly they had no one to help Shroud out in the site. He had a Falmus. He was solo with a Falmus, which he probably should have had a better rifle. Someone should have gave him one if he's going to be there alone. I mean, nothing was there, but fell out and rotated.
Yeah, he had rotated out.
And then the fact that no one could come in from any good spot to help him. But the thing was that, like, if Cloud9 were going to give up mid or play one mid, they could have tried to circumvent the map by pushing another site. But because Dignitas went late mid, they didn't have the idea to push something else, even though they had a relatively low buy. So that was a really nice setup and execution from Dignitas. An idea just to get mid control that simply.
All right, Skadoodle back to middle. Actually, what happened with Skadoodle on that round? Did he go down at middle, or did he rotate off to A? And then nothing came back to go for middle, right? Because that B split happened when it was still 5-on-5.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe cause for concern in some of those communications. And of course, Shroud, not the best weapon, but kind of dropping the ball over there in the B site, not able to kill one of them, and didn't, you know, maybe just better off to keep that gun out than try for the flash that he did. Now Dignitas in command here.
So what you're asking,
doing the same exact thing.
Yeah, and Cloud9 just looking to recycle guns here. I mean, they could win this round, but it would be hard. But Skadoodle, you're asking, was the highwayman, and why wasn't he there to help? Nothing?
No, he started the round at the Z connector, which I realized got smoked off. Did he rotate to A, but never seemed to come back down the highway to cover middle, so then nothing felt that he needed to do it.
I mean, oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's true. That nothing did exit through B into CT. Now the full A is going to come out 5v5. The clock is ticking down, but it looks like the smokes are out. No one's died yet. And I think they'll be able to actually get in, though mid control has been taken at the same time.
Yeah, it's going to be a split right onto this A site. There's a lot of people here starting. They're actually falling off truck, going back to middle, and it's way too late. Now all they can do is push through Z connector and try to come up highway. MSL just continuing to hit entries and open up the site. Against some of the less armed opponents, Freakazoid will go up. Actually, won't even get that. It's Skadoodle that finds the kill on the Kirby, so Freakazoid going to take point over the Toxic Barrels. Double up on quad. They see the boost. They know two are there. Third man is unknown. That's going to be Tensky, but holding out on default within the site. Yeah, Freakazoid not going to know this, though.
And once again, Freakazoid with no armor actually gets a kill, and it's 2v2. Skadoodle does have armor for himself and will push up the site, hopefully together, and yeah, they are. But the man on default, Tensky, gets a 2K and ends that. On a round where Cloud9 didn't spend any extra money, they just recycled the drone, so did quite a bit of damage for their effort. But Dignitas had a really nice split there. That late mid, I think, even like from my perspective, pretty much caught me off guard. They threw so many smokes that it seemed like there was going to be at least 3-4 players in main, but instead put two of the smokers up on boost to go through mid and up highway.
Yeah, that was cool. Like, you throw all those smokes, and you're like, all right, there's 3-4 smokes and Molotovs landing now, and it's less of a risk to start rotating those mid players early, but then mid is just left open, and Dignitas take full control of it and run onto that site pretty much with ease. MSL finding another opener. This one with the MAC-10. It's Rubino that was kind of the shield. He took a lot of damage. MSL gets another. So far, no casualties against this pistol buy-up. Upgraded pistols from Cloud9. It's 2-2, likely to be 2-3 in favor of Dignitas, but Skadoodle will find a kill onto Config.
Yeah, that might be the last mistake they make on this round. So I think they have started to turtle up a little bit. Kirby trying to find a kill on a player, trying to cross, and that's Freakazoid getting all these kills without armor somehow, some way, and will fall off and try to bring this rifle into the next round where it'll be more valuable. And we'll have to see. I mean, Cloud9, it seems like, are getting exploited at mid. Again, a couple of these rounds are ones where Dignitas are spending much more money than they are, so that is one thing. Maybe with more money, Cloud9 will want to take control of it more aggressively. But I'm sure in that situation where you know, nothing's alone at mid, that they might want to try to reboost fence after the Molotov, since Dignitas don't execute right away, or simply have a couple of people pushed up close just so that he can come out mid as opposed to fall into B.
And also, let's keep in mind, Cloud9 on the CT side, right? We heard a lot of talk around from some people here. Definitely some people that know a little less about Counter-Strike about what if Cloud9 started on the CT side? Would they have done better last night against Gambit? And I know it's a tough question, but right now Cloud9 are on the CT side, which we know for a fact is better. So they need to have the performance here. This is their best buy yet. Let's see if they mix anything up. Let's see if they can do anything with it.
Yeah, and it looks like the one mid setup again. I mean, Freakazoid is just coming back and forth and spotting. But they do have a main control, which is a really important part of this round. Studio also has smoked the end of a main to make presence. The thing is that they haven't actually rotated anyone out to stack the other site, and that's because there's always the threat of players waiting outside A main. But it looks like Dignitas, if we check the mini-map, have congregated all towards B. No one towards vent, and there's no one in vent from Cloud9, so this might be fair play. Or oh wow, nice pop flash gets Shroud 2 kills. And a third, and a fourth! What? A 4K, oh my god, almost goes for the ace and doesn't land it. Tensky left alone, 8 HP. And wow, what a round.
There you go, Shroud.
The reactions on Shroud, oh my goodness. Hitting every first bullet there.
Yeah, it's nice to see the teamwork as well. That flash goes in. The first man in the checker's so blind. The man further back of B main is blind. The spray control for the double quick headshots as they start coming through the other entrance of checker behind him. Even gets that third headshot, but what you can do is the M4. It's a lot of damage, but it's not the ace. Still a sick 4K round for Shroud, and exactly what Cloud9 needed to get done. Although they don't land an easy round afterwards, the money for Dignitas was still good, and they will have a full round. It looks like they're going to change up the pace completely and go very, very fast into this ace site.
Yeah, busting right out there, all their AKs, and they're trying to change up the pace, but Freakazoid with 3 quick headshots makes it look easy, and the last man goes down to nothing, the last 2 actually, and Cloud9 pick up another round, destroy the confidence of Dignitas, and that is
and the money.
That's a team building exercise right there. Just maintaining a crossfire, making sure nobody dies, picking up 3 AKs, and bolstering their economy. And Dignitas, I mean, when you change up the pace like that, you really, really need to win that round.
Exactly.
You've gone from playing rounds out slow and methodically and cleaning out every corner meticulously to hitting something fast because you think it's going to catch them off guard. And you lose on a rush, and you didn't do that rush because you wanted to impose your will on them. You did that rush because you thought it was a type of read, right? You did it because you wanted to get in their head, and it didn't work out. Ooh, config.
I mean, actually, like the last 2 rounds that they deviated from their slow default, they go B. Shroud kind of wrecks them there, and then they go back to A going really quick, trying to change up the pace. They get wrecked by Freakazoid, and now this round with just upgraded pistols, it's not going well.
I mean, it's going well for Dignitas, that's for sure. They config with the 2 1-digs. And Rubino getting another frag. They have the site to themselves right now, plant, and they've got enough time that they can make this go the distance. I mean, Shroud has to rotate all the way through middle. Is going to move up with Skadoodle, who has an op, not a favorable gun on a retake. The only thing they have going for them is Rubino's low HP and config, only with the deagle. But I don't know if that's worth pointing out because he is pretty sick with this thing.
Well, lands 1 shot there. Looking for a 1-dig, finds it onto Skadoodle as he slowly rounds the corner. Now he's got eyes on Shroud. He's going to go up top. Oh, that's dangerous play, and Shroud will shoot him down. Has the kit as well with the time.
My goodness.
That'll be 5-3, but wow, just the upgraded pistols, that became very, very dangerous for Cloud9.
Config probably could have delayed a little bit longer, and that bomb was taken down. I think he needed to waste like 5 or so seconds, and it would have been a risk not knowing which side of the site that Shroud had to come around. But at the same time, if you were to run, then he'd make noise and make himself known to config. So kind of an interesting decision to jump up on there. But when you have no HP, or when you have no armor and just the deagle, you got to take some kind of risk. So either way, 4 kills on the round. Bomb plant, that's a good round for Dignitas.
Yeah, they made it expensive. They limit the growth of that Cloud9 economy on the CT side, so that could be important if they're able to get around at any point. But Shroud holding out by the woodbox, another great support from his teammate. That's the flash in. Shroud able to get a 3K because of it, and another rifle. This one into the quick into the B site, completely shut down.
What a god.
Dignitas with Kirby and Rubino left alive. Now just Kirby are really going to need, maybe they slow it down, go back to the default. It looked kind of effective. Since they've switched it up, they've had 0 success.
Now, the issue for C9 is their T-sides, right?
Exactly.
Even yesterday on Cash,
3 rounds only.
Yeah.
And I think that, did that include a pistol for them?
I don't remember,
not
but
sure.
that would even, you know, even if you have a really bad T side, I mean, we've seen, you know, teams that just who have problems on T side literally get 1 or 2 rounds max on T side versus tier 1, tier 2 teams like old Dignitas, for example, which is kind of funny that they're playing new Dignitas. But I'm talking about the one, the former Astralis with fetish calling. They would have halves where they would get, you know, 1 or 2 rounds. They would lose games where they had 14 round CT halves, and hopefully it's not that severe. But either way, Cloud9 are definitely not going to count their chickens before they hatch, because they've had a few games now in a row where they've just had such problems on their T side. Config continuing the rampage with his Deagle, finds another.
So you mentioned the Deagle, and we saw one Deagle already with a chance to win a round they had no business winning. Giri starts off one. That's the first kill. Dignitas have actually been pretty lethal with just these eco rounds they've had. Nothing's able to get in there with an MP9. Take down Config and also earn a decent amount of money. He's going to take a point now with the op. He's very, very low. Even at this range, a pistol could take him down if he misses the op shot. Freakazoid, meanwhile, will kill Kirby. And MSL with the Deagle working his way back in. Oh, that actually tagged both of them with one Deagle bullet, but Shroud reacting.
Bomb has fallen into the site, and they have control of it and thus control of the round. Coming to recover it are Rubino and Tansky. They don't have many options here. They've got a B main cross smoke, which I guess they're going to throw, but that might only help them leverage a kill or two, if that. Hardly given the option to get the bomb and plant, but making the round expensive is definitely the most they can ask for, I'm sure.
Well, passive play here from C9. Oh, actually, never mind. Stewie, from the radar, it didn't look like he was peeking it, but he is actually peeking that, so never mind. There's really no way that Dignitas can easily get up to that bomb. They're going to re-smoke it, that'll allow him to pick it up. Trying to shoot as, oh my gosh, and Tetsky right into Shroud. Now here's Stewie 2K. And Rubino able to punch into numbers. No, he goes for the fake plant. He's trying to win this round. He might just do it. He pulls out the Tech-9. 2-1. Lands another shot, but Stewie hits the op shot, and that got way too close for comfort for Cloud9. They've lost 4 people against just pistols, no armor.
I feel like that
on multiple rounds.
I feel like that op shot shouldn't have been taken when you were down to like the last 15 seconds, because even though they smoked the bomb, they couldn't have gone back to A, right? So he shot an op shot through the smoke, and I think if he just let him into the site, he could have waited, taken that kill then, and guaranteed that no one could have gotten past CT. But that being said, Stewie had to get that kill. He could hide, but if that angle had been closed in on him, he would have definitely lost. So. Close call for sure. But here's an early opening pick for Dignitas, and evened up by Stewie, who pushed Squeaky, and that is important to do when mid-control is lost. Shroud finding a kill as well, and Kirby looking to even up. 3v3 now. Config low HP.
Well, Config and Kirby doing what they're known for. I mean, these are the young guns on the team, up-and-comers. They've had ridiculous performances as of late, as Dignitas was rapidly rising in the rankings, everybody's rankings, and Config and Kirby were a big part of that. Config finds a second into a 2-on-2, but Skadoodle gets his op shot in B, bringing down Tensky, and now it all falls onto Config with his AK up against 2 ops. So the fact that he's low on HP might not matter that much. Neither of those oppers have upgraded pistols either, so they will be opping.
Ooh. And Skadoodle too swift. Getting that first kill was super important. If he didn't do that, 2v1 on the bomb site, bomb down. He gets the kill, 2v1 the other way around. Cloud9 up now, 8-3. Looking really good. I mean, you know, if you're in Cloud9 situation, like say you're in CLD situation where you're just up in general and you have trouble closing out a game, then no matter what kind of half you have, you're always worried. And I feel like Cloud9 in this specific instance is up on CT side, has problems on T side, and so is going to be worried no matter what kind of half they have here. But closing out 12-3 could give anyone confidence. Nice pick from Skadoodle.
Skadoodle has the angle set, smoke goes down, he gets flashed, takes the shot anyway and lands it. Tensky will take down Shroud, however, and Skadoodle, it's going to fall onto him in the side. He gets one, but they run up on headshot ledge. It's Kirby to take him down, and Config to open up the checkers by killing nothing. 2-on-2 again. Every round seems like it's going down to the wire between these two teams.
Oh, this is when communication shines, because it's a 2v2, they don't have the bomb, and they're not sure what site it's at, and they can't isolate anyone. Kirby finds the first frag, and now it's Freak in a one-on-one with Config. Config has full nades, Freak has a kit, but Config is at the other site with plenty of time to find the perfect after-plant spot. Let's see how he plays it.
Okay, he will plant for A main. Now here comes the classic mind game. Is he going to go A main? Will he just get in there behind quad. Oh, he's going to go over on top of the catwalk, but he's now been spotted, so the jig is up. He's going to have to, he's going to go, goes up again. It didn't work for him in an earlier round with the deagle, but he catches a man jumping in the air. That's Freakazoid. He takes him down, and Dignitas are back winning rounds. That was 6 in a row for Cloud9.
What you see from Config is just deliberacy, you know, like him moving from fork to the top of the sight box, doing that in that time, not making, you know, a decision of whether or not he should re-peek on fork first, instead just knowing exactly what he wants to do with this play, and because he wastes no time, having the options of catching Freak off guard in a situation where Freak thinks maybe he's going to stick around at fork, so I can just run up the site real quick. No, Config is one step ahead.
It's a strong trait to have in Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
As
a game of moments.
Exactly. Shroud, he's even able to push up through B main, supported by his teammates a little bit behind him, and now taking control of Sunroom. So a lot of information given there. Dignitas, meanwhile, slow and methodical on the parts of the map that they control, middle and out towards A. Stewie 2K set up here for an A retake.
Look at the concave on the minimap. We see a lot of presence towards B. We have the push towards B, the retake situation on A, and all the terrorists kind of conforming to the CT standards. That's exactly what you want to have on CT side on a map where rotations are so important. But the thing is, they're still stacked towards B, so it's kind of like they want to bait them into the setup. They've got one man to spare just to trade out. That's Shroud sitting with a 5-7 in Sunroom, and Skadoodle take pot shots on players crossing, and it looks like they are going to run right into it.
I was getting worried Skadoodle is maybe going to do too much, but Shroud will keep him alive and actually finds 2 with the 5-7 inside of Sunroom. Config brings him down, but maybe it's too little too late. That's the first kill, and it leaves Dignitas 2 versus the 4 of Cloud9.
Rubino now and Config are going to be staging in a hit, it seems like. Both of them have smokes to the cross. Stewie has a molly that's going to decentivize him from trying to jump on the site, but Rubino running out the forklift as fast as possible, finds his first kill on that man. Freakazoid, however, trades the kill immediately, and now it's Config once again in a clutch situation, looking for the first kill. No, Freak gets his revenge. Finds the 1K, cleans up.
So was that
it's bullying.
Shots. Yes, he's clearly not learning anything at the seminar, is he? I'm
kidding, obviously, but that's Cloud9 to get 9 rounds. Dignitas looking at best a 9-6 half, and ultimately, you know, if Cloud9 end this half 9-6, it's not bad. For Cloud9 specifically, who have to go into a T side that they might not feel confident in, it's not good. But maybe the fact that they played Cash yesterday, they probably had long talks about it. That might favor them.
Yeah.
I hopefully watched demos.
You touched on that point a lot yesterday in some of the games when we saw a team that had just lost a map play that same map.
Yeah.
Because you had lost that map, that means you went back and looked at it, and likely you saw your glaring mistakes, and that's going to be kind of easy to notice and probably not too hard to fix. But then Thorin made a strong point as well. Like, it's the T side that's been so bad. You're not going to be able to rehaul your entire T side in the course of one day.
Yeah,
and they played really late. Like, unless they stayed up all night, like they had a couple hours pretty much.
You know, because remember with Splice of the Major or the Minor, excuse me.
Well,
they had one night where
the major soon.
Yeah, the major soon. Yeah, they had one night where, or the first night I think they had like a really bad loss. And then they said they spent like 4 hours talking about it.
Exactly.
And then they came back the next day and like, I mean, they got like second place.
Beat Optic, and then
they beat Optic. Yeah, and they talked about how or Professor Chaos mentioned how they had just gone over stuff thoroughly. And I guess part of it is knowing what to go over, right, and what to fix. And I guess Cloud9's issue is they don't know exactly what to fix, because if that were the case, they've definitely spent a lot of time, I'm sure, thinking about what to do.
So Molotovs to grab control of middle. Kirby still not completely sure that sandbags is clear. The 1Ds so far from Dignitas have been so strong. Freakazoid to go down. Stewie 2K, we see him at fork. Rubino's lining up a flash, it looks like. Maybe a smoke to come out of the squeaky door. Nothing, though. And Shroud, they've been very, very powerful here on B. Nothing taken out of the back of Checker. They're going to know where Shroud is. They smoke off CT. I see a man going to the upper catwalk already. That's going to be Skadoodle with the op. He'll miss the no-scope. Shroud holds on the site, able to peek out and find Kirby. So 2 to survive. Shroud with a 3K and Cloud9 into the double digits here, 10-4.
Shroud has been an invaluable asset at B, like multiple 3Ks versus rifles. I mean, none of his kills are even on ecos. He's just getting spray downs constantly every single round. You know, and that's Shroud you know and love from his stream. and it's nice to see him translating that into the match. We've seen him also just be in good form in general lately. But as he said, it's different, you know, playing against really good players and pulling that stuff off versus playing against people who aren't on a team.
And also, this teamwork over here at B has been absolutely on point. I believe it must be, actually, it's Skadoodle that's been throwing those flashes. Sometimes nothing, since he's support here at B, and they're cleaning him up. The flashes stop Dignitas from moving forward at all. Shroud's actually pushed by, so config unknown until he shoots that high-powered pistol. Nothing takes him down in Cloud9. 11-4. But still, they have to go to the T side now.
They're not through the thick of it. I mean, one thing I remember from Dignitas, or the old Dignitas that had so many problems on T side, was that when they would come away with a really positive half on CT, if they didn't win the pistol on T side, that's when it just went. That's when it just became a disaster. So maybe like the nail in the coffin for Dignitas here in this set, or in this best of one, is simply Cloud9 winning the pistol.
The pistol round.
Yeah, I feel like if they don't win the pistol, they'll just somehow find a way to lose, even though they have such a great half. In spite of that, I mean, going 11 to 5, 6, 7, and then starting out might be a little bit too close for comfort for them.
Yeah, Cash could actually be a decent map, because you know so many people play retake on A site, which means if you're playing retake, that's because the bomb is down. So
Yeah.
the bomb could easily be planted, which could lead to a strong rifle round earlier on, even if Cloud9 don't get the pistol. But looking at their pistol round percentages, actually, on a Cash and the 9 times they've played it, either online or in LAN, 67% of their T-side pistols. So those are pretty good odds. And that could be what it takes for Cloud9 to close this out.
Those are pretty good odds. I mean, I take those odds.
Meanwhile, we'll check Dignitas as well. Their C-side pistol is actually 71%. So maybe not.
Clash. Yeah. Stats out the window. Let's see what happens. In my opinion, every pistol's 50-50, but we'll see. Two very competent teams. You know, Cloud9 aim heavy, obviously, but Dignitas no slouches in that department either. And it seems as though Shroud will be making presence at Squeaky. No one's actually pushing anything. MSL is all the way up mid under boost, and we'll be able to hear any footsteps if they are to make noise by accident. But I think they're actually sending the bomb over boost, so expecting it to get up highway. And MSL letting players pass.
Yeah, the strats might clash here. They're going, it was set up for a retake, but a heavy mid presence by Dignitas, and Cloud9 wanted to put 3 people on that mid route, and they get shut down. Dignitas 4 against 2. It's just Shroud and nothing. Their teamwork was fantastic on the B site on the first half of this, but now they've got to do a near impossible task, 2v4.
71%, huh?
Yeah, and that's why, you know.
Stats matter.
Those stats are always from the past, though, right? You're in the present here.
Shroud.
And okay, they are doing it. They got it to a 2-on-2. Now Shroud with 45 seconds. If he can pick up that bomb, he's got a lot of time to work with. And they better just peek together. Oh my gosh, Tensky goes down. Shroud behind the white box, and they'll turn it around. 2 versus 4. Shroud with the headshots. 3 kills on the round. Cloud9 grabbed the pistol. 71% Launders.
I'd just like to point out that if Dignitas or a North American team, they never hear the end of it for that play.
Correct.
I'm going to leave it at that.
There might be justice. Who knows?
But I was about to say, Shroud, you give a Shroud a 1v1, he'll eat you alive. It doesn't matter how much HP he has. Most of his hits are to the head. So Cloud9 win that pistol against all odds.
Hey, man, Shroud's stream or in one of the biggest matches of his career, you know, trying to get to the first $1 million major, that odd shot's probably making it to the front page. As MSL once again holding out with the CZ here in middle. Freakazoid's already dropped over the boost, and he's actually in big trouble. Okay, yeah, he will go down. It's actually Kirby that gets the frag. MSL turns around to get Stewie 2K, caught on a reload. The long reload of that CZ. They tried to go for the quick re-peeks onto nothing. He's got a Galil and he'll fall. Tatensky with the 5-7. So Dignitas striking right back 3-on-2.
Oof. And now leaving it to Shroud and Skadoodle. There's few people I'd probably trust more to play a 2v2 or a 2vx correctly. Oh, there's a smoke that hits Skadoodle. That's unfortunate.
Tag, you're it, Skadoodle.
Yep. Oh, yeah. And Skadoodle he had a really good spot to get that kill, but doesn't manage to do it. Now Shroud with the first headshot. Really nice. Starting to look like a clip already.
16 HP on these 2 players. He's just got to hit them once. Fails to do it there, and he's going to go down. Close range config with the Deagle. Turns it around, and they've got time for the defuse.
Oh my god, they actually pull it off. And Dignitas Eco versus Cloud9, who let 2 players leak out mid. MSL played the same spot he did on the pistol and wasn't punished. Got a kill for it. Nothing went down trying to trade for his teammate. And I feel like in that situation, there just needed to be like, you know, you cut your losses at some point at mid, and then you just group for A main or group for whatever you want to hit, because you see that there's a focus from the other team there, and the CTs are always going to be spread thin. If you see 3 players in one spot, but ultimately they get ecoed in a situation where I felt like, you know, winning the pistol was going to be enough. All suddenly, you know, Cloud9 are on the defensive.
Yeah, not a good sign for them. They're going to go into P250s, a couple flashes. Tech9 there on Skadoodle. Everyone buying to 2K or just a couple $100 less. So it's not all bad. They can get a rifle in this next round, but it won't be a very strong one.
I mean, the nice thing is for Cloud9 is that we haven't seen that many ecos from them. And, you know, this is the first time I'm looking at, like, Shroud with the Deagle here.
The brand new Deagle, too.
Return the favor, yeah.
Well, Rubino, they know where he is now. Shroud will peek out. Rubino confident will hold the same exact angle and pays the price for that. Taking down off the white box. Shroud not in a position where he can push up and grab that gun, though. And looks like 2 members of Dignitas starting to push off the B site to make the play. That's MSL and Config. Actually, Config is just going to go and deposit himself inside of the sunroom, and MSL will fall back to watch middle to control that. 2 men also on the A site. So Dignitas actually with a fantastic setup right now. Depending on Config, can probably play passive and just let him walk by this position.
Yeah, I mean, they could check it depending on how slowly they walk, and if they don't make any noise, that's when Config should be worried.
Low, though.
Yeah, that's true.
And a nade from
wow,
an EU player.
This is a read. Oh, no, they didn't actually clear it. They thought they cleared it, and Freakazoid does trade out 1 for 1. And because they left him, MSL actually, the escort comes back to hit headshots.
Did they buff the Galil?
And that's it. They do clean up. A couple of good kills, and I think that was I felt like that was a read on Sunroom because they assumed once they took mid that Dignitas did push. I mean, they were correct about it, but Config found a nice spot in cash, or in the Sunroom, excuse me.
Oh, you weren't wrong. It's also in cash.
That's true. I just like to be very specific, you know?
That's true. 12-6 now as Dignitas upset in round 2 of the second half. They've got now 2 in a row, and well, they got the rifles out there. Galil onto nothing and enough smokes if they want to throw and execute, but not much else. No Molotovs, which can be of vital importance on cash to clear positions like quad, fence, headshot ledge, the B site, back of checker, but, well, nothing. Finds the first kill onto MSL with the Galil.
Did he see him push? I guess he saw him push through that smoke, and yeah, they do take advantage of it. And now they're going to throw their mid-B cross smokes because they know close mid is most likely clean, and that might not even be for a reason. Like, that might not even be to get anyone out, and it looks like they're just going to leave Stewie to lurk, but Rubino pushing into Squeaky gets a kill for himself.
No, it was through the smoke. Shroud lined up that smoke, tosses it out, and then goes to leave the door, and Rubino just kills him. And he's still alive, doing some damage, takes down Freakazoid, spots a man at the bottom of a highway, but Stewie 2K goes on the site, gets the kill onto Rubino, but Tensky immediately trading it out after him. Stewie 2K already with the 2K. Can he make it 3? No,
no, he doesn't get the kill. The 1v Stew. So we'll call that.
I like it.
All right. It's locked in. Cloud9 stuck at 12 after that really unfortunate eco round. I mean, you call it unfortunate, you call it a misplay. I think it was definitely both. But either way, they have to find a way to get to this 13th round. I mean, you know, like, it's just that Dignitas are, you know, really, really far behind, but I feel like I'm just as worried for Cloud9 as Cloud9 are worried for themselves.
It's very reminiscent of the overpass match we had with CLG SK. CLG has a great half, it's slipping away, and you're like, awesome. SK, they're totally going to do this and make the comeback. Yep. They didn't. Of course, CLG staying alive in the tournament and getting themselves a best of 3, and now Cloud9 having trouble. Kirby bringing him down off the catwalk. Now Tensky showing himself from quad, and there's Rubino also. Very clean round there for Dignitas. Cloud9 out to another rifle here on this round, 21.
Another one. Got to do one per map.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair.
That's the quota. I think we got a white van on this map too.
Oh, there's one right there. The white van.
Oh, true.
But, well, if someone saves there,
that'd be a really extraordinary circumstance.
It would be, and there's the white truck, I guess, in T-spawn behind the boost.
And here is a default. I'd really, you know, I actually, it makes me more comfortable watching Cloud9 play on T side here, to see them try to play it around more slowly. just go for defaults. You know, use your individual talent to the maximum. Let them work picks individually. Yeah, and that's also what Dignitas did for themselves, although it didn't work quite as well. And Tensky, what?
Through the door, just lining it up. Shroud spamming through the door. Tensky's like, all right, I know this angle. I'll shoot back. And he actually kills Shroud.
Wow.
It's much easier to return the fire, actually.
So I guess it might be a good time to talk about what the importance of door is, but first we're going to see what looks like a late mid setup. But the thing is, Dignitas still have 3 people here, fully ready and anticipating what is about to come to them, though. Freakazoid comes out with the entry, and that could make a difference. Now we only have 2 players on highway, kind of stuck together. Don't have a way to double peek in this situation. Instead, we'll only be able to block each other. Rubino Blind gets a second frag on top of Kirby's, and that leaves Skadoodle and nothing. 2v4 now.
I mean, that's the aggressive play from Dignitas. They could have broken that round. They both pushed down to the white box at highway and both peek off of it. There were 3 members of Cloud9 there in the back of middle, and they failed to do anything about it. Team Dignitas just had their way with them.
Oh.
As there was a chance for bonus points there, but I'm going to ignore that opportunity.
Oh, I think they've heard that drop from Skadoodle. We have some Molotovs to flush out a player here. Config is going to be moving to the oranges where you might expect him to go, but he's got teammates already rotated in, and they need to trade him out immediately. They do get the frag, but Kirby's right there to support his teammate, looking for the second kill. Can't find it. Skadoodle with not enough time will just have to save. Oh, and can't do it. They should have killed him after the time in that situation. That was...
Yeah, people often kind of just forget about that. Maybe it's just a high-pressure situation.
And you might say they aren't looking at the time, but they definitely know.
They know.
They know.
Yeah. And that's so big. That hurts economy big time, dying after the round.
Yeah.
On the T side, of course. So 12-9, Cloud9, they're going to take themselves a pause, think things over. Money is a high 3K, low 4K, so they can buy up here. Maybe they could force and then have a rifle, so kind of 2 semi-dangerous rounds.
Yeah.
What do you think they should do? What's the adjustment here for Cloud9?
Well, I think, you know, the default is fine. The mid takes lack of explosiveness. I mean, they got the opening frag, but then they don't get the trade after. Or they don't get the trade on Freakazoid when he takes a second fight, and that's an issue for them. But I think what's important is that Shroud stays alive, first of all, because he has so many kills. And he's up to 24. He's 24 and 15, with the next best person in the server at 17, which is his own teammate, Skadoodle. But him staying alive and Squeaky is super important because no matter what they do, whether they hit B, A, if they hit A, he can support them. If they hit B, he can hold rotations. And if they go mid, he can also hold rotations. So if we see how Dignitas are playing 2 on highway, well, one of those people on highway will always have to pay attention to Shroud in case he opens the doors and try to take a fight with him. And if you know, they're able to neutralize him in Squeaky, that's a huge benefit, not only in terms of man advantage, but in terms of control of the map. Also, with Squeaky control, you have peace of mind that the CTs didn't put Squeaky, and if no one's there, then it can be the same as, even if they didn't push Squeaky, that you can assume that they might have. So a lot of value in having someone go there most rounds, if not every.
All right, so something I want to look at, because I didn't really take the opportunity to do so in the similar situation we had with CLG and SK, is look at the first half. First half numbers, we'll just read some of them off, the impressive ones for Cloud9. Shroud, 19 kills, Freakazoid, 13, Skadoodle, 15. 3 first kills for Shroud, 3 first kills for Skadoodle. Let's go to the second half numbers. Shroud is actually still performing, more or less. We've had 6 rounds, and he's got 5 kills. That ain't bad. 0 first kills, though. There's a problem with entry fragging on the T side. That's really news to anyone when it comes to Cloud9. Nothing is the only one who's got a first kill. Dignitas is starting off and setting the pace in every single round on their CT side.
Shout out to Ricky Lumpkin. He is the
of course.
has been the prophet of the CSGO major qualifier, but his most bold prediction was
he's had a lot of bold predictions.
Yes, I mean, yeah, he predicted Splice was going to win, but his most bold prediction, I think, is right now, where he said that Cloud9 is going to take this one on cash, which I don't think most people had assumed.
I hope you realize all of Lumpkin's predictions are just he's going to choose the NA team.
I mean, I don't question the method. Okay. I just see the results.
That's fair. And for those of you who don't know who he is, NFL player, drafted up back by the Colts, and he comes to and he streams
Global
as well.
Elite.
Global Elite. I don't know since the patch and the change in the rankings, but definitely someone worth supporting, so find out who he is. And this is Cloud9 on what was a very close round. Not a lot put into it, but Kirby, I mean, you can hear him yourself. I didn't say anything.
We had Vikings at the minor, or the major quali, but apparently there are Vikings in the building.
Well, I mean, they're from the region.
Was that Du Hast?
No, that's
okay.
German. Sorry.
Getting it all mixed up.
Yeah.
All right, and that was a round that Cloud9 could have won 2 entries with the Tech 9. Dignitas did find a kill in the midst of it, but having the 1v2 on the retake, and then Kirby coming huge with that insane shot into Sunroom. Didn't even give Shroud a chance to take one shot or delay, which probably would have been his next option. And now this focus on mid-control seems to be working out really, really well. C9 are not finding any results on their T side in general, but more importantly, when they try to go late mid, it isn't working like when Dignitas tried it.
Well, I mean, if Cloud9 can just replicate the success that they had in that last round, like finding a first kill, getting the bomb down, but they were underfunded with just pistols. Now they've got a full buy. They've just got to do it again, and they can most likely hold on once they get to the post plans. But having trouble getting anything to work so far in this round to spread out on that default some information, but it came at a cost. Look how low Skadoodle is. Looks like he got dinked up. Down to 9 HP with that up.
Yeah. Nothing anchoring towards B. No, nothing is... They're not actually smoked out, but MSL is opping it, and that's why. So now he goes down. Tensky finds a kill. Freakazoid gets another entry, but there aren't any smokes on the site. There's 3 players alive. 2 of them are dinked. Not a lot of hope for this round.
No, it fell apart very quickly, and, well, credit to Freakazoid. He did go in and get the entry in the A site, but unfortunately MSL drew first blood on the round, and then Freakazoid died. There was no trade that came out. So again, trouble for Cloud9. Team Dignitas 3-on-2. Skadoodle and Stewie 2K left at the helm of round 23. Rubino. Oh, Stewie looked just away. He had a very good read on that situation. He'll fake the plant. He'll get them to aggress. Almost had him lined up. And MSL, who starts off the round with a kill, gets 2 more with the op for a 3K. And now we're within 1 round.
Yeah, I mean, we look back at the pistol. Again, you know, it brought them from 11 to 12, but because they got eco'd, they lost one of the easiest rounds that they could have come across on this T side that wouldn't have required, you know, a lot of depth to their strategy. Instead, Dignitas have come back. I mean, an amazing comeback where there have been clutch rounds. It has come close. There have been a couple of defuses, but overall, just pure dominance and just superior CT setups have been the reason that Cloud9 haven't been able to make waves. But I think, you know, like, it's just like this half committal on these A takes, or on these site takes in general, that, you know, when Cloud9 get it to the late round, if they do get the 2 quick entries, then it's sometimes a different round. But when they try to pour into a site, they don't have much explosiveness. And I don't know if that's a lack of selflessness that's causing that, but here's Stewie going out with no one to help him. And yeah, that was all for naught. I know that might be a huge kill that he just lost, and it looks like they're trying to pressure people. Nothing actually does find a frag. There is still Tensky to keep him honest at fence. One of the strongest positions on the site. Will he get a frag from here? I'm not sure.
All right, well, 3-on-3 is what it's going to boil down to. Tensky at the fence. It's not going to be checked. Nothing was busy fighting something else. Shadows giving them away as they approach. MSL posted up with the op. Will get the trade immediately as Tensky falls. Skadoodle moving in, trying to make the big plays, the flashy plays that he was pulling off many moons ago.
Oh,
and
man.
He'll fall down.
You know, Stewie runs out first, jumps into forklift. No one's even close to trade. No one comes out after to take another angle. No smokes come out for the cross, and then they slowly bleed to death. I mean, they had 2 people in Squeaky, both challenging from Squeaky. There's not enough room in there. You have to get out. They have to be able to, at least when they want to take a site, like, take it. Instead, they're simply trying to take fights by themselves. From choke points. I mean, like, together, you know, where there's not a lot of space. I mean, luckily for them, A main is very forgiving in that sense because it's huge. But, you know, Squeaky isn't, and then in combination, it makes no sense. It really is, you know, frustrating to watch and execute fall apart like that. Doesn't really come to fruition in the first place, even though you can see the intention is to take the site.
So aggression over at B from Dignitas gets the first kill of the round here at A. The execute, well, it gets them onto the site. Sort of. I still have a smoke to cross, and Tensky's holding the other side. Flash is going to go down. He saw the player jump through before it went off. Nearly killed him. Rubino with the spray down. 10 bullets left, and he'll find the second. Headshot onto Shroud. Dignitas now in the lead, 13-12. Only the pistol round of the second half for Cloud9.
Only the pistol round of the second half. I mean, that's what's to note. I mean, again, 11-4 half, won the second pistol, got eco'd, and lost so many rounds in a row. That Dignitas have actually taken a lead once again in this game. Can you believe it?
Yes.
Okay. thought I'd ask.
I don't want to believe it, but I can believe it. Stewie trying to get some spam, some damage lined up, maybe free damage, but no, nothing to come of it. Tenski's going to push up. He's under the boost, and Rubino, okay, they threw the Molotov into vent. Generally, people back off into checker, but he comes out aggressive into middle. And if Cloud9 later go for mid, that can actually throw them for a loop, not expecting two to be this close up.
I want to talk about what's notable about Dignitas here on their CT side, and I think it's the fact that they're committing to not just playing vent, but playing mid a little bit more dynamically and a little bit more stacked than a Cloud9 do throughout the round. It's usually resulted in kills, though. Shroud comes out with the opening kill, and this could be a change of pace for them. Very important. But how are they going to maintain the man advantage without throwing it away before they want to hit something? Like in this situation, you know, we typically see them going to sites when they don't get the man advantage and then they group for something and try to hit it. Well, here they have the opportunity 5v4 to group and hit something if it is the case that Dignitas don't give it any more kills, which is it's their job to do. At the same time, it might be in their best interest to push, but everything's been going so well for Dignitas. Why change what's not broken?
Freakazoid was thinking about throwing a nade, and he will peek a little wide for it. That's going to be a smoke out. It's not. Oh, it's a flash, actually, and it will blind MSL completely. 3-on-3 now. Tenski and Kirby getting some quick frags in there. Stewie 2K brings down Kirby, and all right, Cloud9, they break on to the A site. Shroud gave them the first kill on this round of the man advantage. They look to hold on. Hopefully they won't squander the opportunity. Tenski and Config looking to move in. Config off of that bomb wall, and up behind him, that's going to be coming up highway. Config's eyes on the bomb, knows it's planted default, trying to check A main. Okay, Stewie 2K is there. He gives up the angle just as Stewie unleashes fire, and Freakazoid peeks out to win the round. And all right, better late than never. A rifle round for Cloud9 comes out, and that'll tie it back up 13-13 as we go down the home stretch here.
Yeah, they do tie it up, and whew, look at this. No money on the board for Dignitas. Are they going to buy? This is actually a huge round because if they do buy, they have the opportunity to completely shut down Cloud9 and their economy. But because Cloud9 didn't lose that many people, and because Dignitas have so little money overall, they're actually saving after that entire win streak. So we can see that Cloud9 have actually done significant economic damage on the low.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the rounds were pretty close, which is why money's so tight on Dignitas. There were a lot of rebuys, but that was kind of okay because they were making that comeback. But now you get to round 27 and economy collapses. It's very likely that this is the round that could, well, actually round 28 will be the round that probably determines the fate of this game, as Dignitas are saving, ecoing on this round, and Cloud9 having no trouble dealing with it.
No small feat to not get ecoed for Cloud9, as it has happened in the most dramatic way earlier this half. And now Cloud9 are actually in the lead, 2 away from winning, 1 away from match point, 1 rifle round away most likely from winning, I want to say.
Yeah, definitely. If Cloud9 get this, they should be able to close it out, pending some crazy circumstances. And for Dignitas, if they win it, it's not actually so clear-cut, because Cloud9 still have enough money to put together another rifle round if they take a loss. But there would just be more pressure on that round at 14-14. Stewie 2K quickly over the boost with the spray down. Transfers, but it's onto his teammate, because MSL slid through into mid-main as Freakazoid went out of it, and they know he's there. The nade goes in, 50 damage as it explodes at the feet. Flash to go out. MSL brings down Freakazoid, and no need to peek. He knows that Stewie 2K's on the other side, I do believe. Gets him to turn again, peeks information, and now wants to fall back, and here's nothing coming over from B main to that B mid connector, and he's the one that'll get the frag onto MSL.
Well, a critical fight won. That was so important, and because mid-control went so well, Stewie running through that molly, and getting that kill on Sandbag, that has made the difference. They have officially won mid, have a huge man advantage, and we can see that with mid control, you're just so much more confident about their odds in the round because they can control rotations, and they know that they have Dignitas most likely split up, whereas Dignitas could play 2 together here and try to win the round, but nothing finds a headshot on Tenski. They open up A site. Config is on the rotate, and this man has been so good, but it looks like he's going to say because their economy is so in the dumps at the moment. And is this it? Did Cloud9 really just win? Are we going to see that today?
They should have. 1 off of that round. They actually have enough money to chase. 4 players are more than loaded, so go try to find this gun. And it looks like they are. They've already pushed out. Look where Stewie 2K is coming through mid main, or sorry, B main right now. The rest of his team over at mid and pushing through A. So it doesn't even seem likely that Config is going to be able to save this gun, and that's going to put Dignitas in an absolute terrible position. Now he's been spotted. Stewie was very, very low, so he's going to go down. We can see him there making those comms. High fives going across.
And they do it.
They do.
They do it. And again, Cloud9 know that they are dead broke. They saw the force up, or they saw the save that happened just recently, and the money had been reset just now. They see the loss bonus isn't at max. Dignitas are at 13 rounds, and this is their last hope to win.
All right, they're gonna go out. 2 scouts here for Tensky and Config. The Deagles have been insane for Dignitas. They got Kirby and MSL with those. Rubino will look to do something dangerous with that CZ. And Stewie 2K love it, boosting on the red box here in mid main. One of the most perfect positions to just watch the push and control middle if you're one person.
Now the Wendigs have been fierce on the side of Dignitas. They've had a lot of practice with disc pistols in this game so far. Freakazoid took a little bit of damage there in A main, has a lot of nades to his name, is down to 30 HP. Officially, Dignitas have made a health impact on this round, and now Cloud9 have to decide what they want to do. They're still split up in their default, but obviously a lot more presence toward A. This time the bomb going squeaky. And it looks like what they want to do is simply hit it. There's a not so much of a stack, but a lot more presence towards A right now from Dignitas. I'd still say this take obviously favors Cloud9 because of their equipment, but that's not to say that these pistols can't do work.
Yeah, Tensky's actually the bait in the mousetrap right now, or the cheese in the mousetrap, I guess. He's jump scouting, he's trying to lure people in, but it'll fail. He's going to go down. No, he's not a distraction, so Rubino can't hide out in the corner and kill unsuspecting terrorist. He goes down without a peep. 5-on-3 now as Dignitas. Tournament life on the line here. Cloud9, 5-on-2 post plant. Config will fall. MSL's gonna go down. Freakazoid closes it out. And there you go, the winner. They squeak by with a T-side, but they continue on to the qualification round. They earn themselves a best of 3 in the lower bracket here at the MLG Major Land Qualifier, and they will be facing off against the loser of Gambit Gaming versus Renegades.
That's an enormous victory. I mean, Dignitas are out now, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's it for them. I mean, they were basically the favorites of the tournament, I think, by most people's standards.
They were definitely up there,
I mean, you know, ironically in the lower bracket with Cloud9, who, you know, a lot of people expected a lot out of them as well. And they're not through the thick of it yet, but that's a huge win for them. 16-13 in a map where they actually lost the lead after coming up with an 11-4 half, winning the second pistol, and, yeah, come with a victory. I mean...
Yeah, so the first kills weren't really present up until rounds, I think about round 10, round 11 of the second half. Nothing had given them one first kill early on, but that's a round they didn't even win. And then finally things start lighting up. Shroud has a couple first kill rounds, and Freakazoid, to his credit, found some openers onto sites, hit some entry frags. It's just that after they'd already been a man down. But everything started kind of lining up there. They win that one key round, and that's what breaks the back of Dignitas, puts them in you know, economic depression pretty much, and it was easy from that point for Cloud9 to close it out with 3 in a row. And with that, a lot to talk about. It went the distance. Let's see what the guys on the desk have to say.
Thanks a lot, chaps. Well, turns out, Blue, you must have a bit of mixed emotions because on the one hand, your prediction's wrong, but on the other hand, Cloud9 are still in this tournament.
Like, it's good for Cloud9 fans because they're going to be able to get into the major again, but ultimately it's now a bad thing because now...
Whoa.
What?
They're not in the major yet. This is the loser's match, remember?
Oh, that's very true. So I mean, they got through what was
They
arguably the tougher
survived,
opponent,
though,
though.
yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah.
survived, and they get through what was arguably their tougher opponent upcoming here.
Well, this is what we were.
Okay.
This is what we were worried about, though, wasn't it? We did say that because it was a best of 1, it might play to their strengths. They got lucky with it being cash, I think,
they got the
as
map
well.
they want, yeah.
They got the map they wanted, and we still saw a terrible terrorist side from them. So, you know, we saw the good and the bad from Cloud9.
The thing is, when I looked at that, I'm actually trying to still figure out. the CT side from the Dignitas guys was very good. Like I hypothesized the reason they would allow Cash through is because they had time to watch the demo, and Cloud9 doesn't have time to change much on T side. But I still can't tell. Did Dignitas actually read what they were going to do and have all the right setups? Or is Cloud9 really just that bad on T side of Cash? Because I've seen them do so badly on a bunch of Cash games now that it could just be that as well. They could just be so terrible on T side that it wouldn't have mattered. So I think probably 50-50. I think it's probably an element of both there, because obviously Dignitas was very much getting back into that game because Cloud9's T side was non-existent. If they hadn't have won that pistol where Shroud won it for them with that Glock, I really wonder what would happen in this game. This felt like an overtime or a win for Dignitas.
There was definitely some moments, there was definitely some weaknesses from the side of Dignitas, like most notably on their CT side, Tensky. They constantly were able to just push past him. Tensky was unfortunately not really helping out the CT side there, so that gave them that momentum that I think was needed to push themselves through that T side and win it. But still, ultimately, the T side was still very horrible from C9, and they're going to need a lot of work on it heading into their next matchup.
Very poor performance from Tensky over the course of the tournament. Obviously, Dignitas are out now. But let's take a look at someone who stood up and was counted. This replay brought to you by the Score Esports. You can see this is Shroud. Blue, why don't you talk us through Shroud's performance?
Yeah, so Shroud overall was the big key here for C9, at least the first half. Dropped off a little bit in the second half, but still had some pretty stand-up performances overall here. We're just going to look at some of the highlight plays from him. He went absolutely crazy here in this round, at round number 6. We got a 1, 2, 3, 4 kills from him, almost catching the ace there too, it would seem, but still he gets finished off just directly after that.
I mean, Shroud's always been a very good CT player, and obviously, even though he didn't contribute much on the T side, I mean, they weren't getting entries, so it's not his, not his kind of like flow of a game. But obviously, the pistol alone was essentially what got them this victory here. He was crucial to that.
Again, we've got the replay for that, brought to you by the Score Esports. You can see,
I mean, this is a bad situation to be stuck in right now.
And you know, nothing, doing absolutely nothing there. So you can see Shroud in this situation here where he's got to really dig deep, and they're just double facing him at this point, confident of getting the kill. He's down to low HP, and then he just gets that headshot on config, and you know, huge pop there from the Cloud9 guys, because that really should have been game, set, and match.
Yeah, in quite a few of the tough situations there, it was always Shroud that managed to pull them through it and make sure they kept the lead going strong throughout the first half. And obviously, again, like we were saying, while it wasn't as strong in that second half, I think it was more the fault of, I think it was definitely more the fault of the guys on Dignitas as to why things fell apart in the second half.
Yeah, and you know, tough on Dignitas. They've had some good performances lately, catching some heat on social media already. I've seen some of the analysts and other talent out there. I think it was Yanko who said this is why you don't call yourself a top-tier team until you've actually delivered on that promise. Seems fair criticism from our Serbian brother. What do you think of Dignitas and where they go from here?
The thing is, in both of the games they lost, even though they went out in last place, they didn't look terrible in both games. In each game they had a good half. They obviously had good performances overall, like CT half here, T side against Renegades. So I think all in all they played well. Obviously it was a gamble to give Cash over to this team right now. I think that might have been something they might think better of, because maybe they thought, just looking at the demo, whereas I think knowing Cloud9, just keep them off like the 2 maps they're good on, and you probably have a better chance to win. So I think maybe they misjudged that and thought we could just anti-strat them and win in that sense. I still think that Kirby, who actually made the comments originally, I can see why he's making it, because he knows he's in his prime right now, and he was actually good in this tournament.
Absolutely.
He had good fragging. He was one of the best things about Dignitas. But I have to say, config was quite non-existent for the first game. He wasn't really able to have any of the play that's built him the hype, and I think actually a lot of what's built Dignitas' hype up is not just Kirby on his own. It's been a couple of those others starting to have good terms, and they're the ones that have dropped off. Kirby's actually starting to look pretty legit as a good player, but beyond that, the other players have been very inconsistent.
Yeah, and it was strange, really, because, you know, Dignitas looked like they were confident coming into this, as they should be, but just didn't play with any of that sort of, you know, swagger to their demeanor. They didn't look confident. You know, when they started coming back into it, you're like, okay, they found their rhythm. But even so, they were making, you know, a meal of their own.
And you'll notice everyone just bans Cobble against them. Everyone just straight up does it. So the problem is they're fantastic on Cobble. They're exceptionally good on that map.
Yeah.
But now anyone who's got any sense, unless they're amazing on Cobble, is just going to ban it outright. That's why they're only going to get to play it against the Envies of the world, because everyone else is going to say, we're not going to play on that one. So that's the problem for Dignitas. Okay, great, you're amazing on Cobble. But if anything, if people are always going to ban one map against you, now you've got to have a better map to go elsewhere, where that gives you an advantage somewhere else. So I think that's what we're starting to see now. Beforehand, people would play them on these maps, and now that we've learned how good they are, now it's going to be even harder to win, because you're never going to get Cobble, essentially.
So any final thoughts from you, bud?
I think Cloud9 heading into the next set, regardless of who they end up facing, I believe, if I'm remembering the groups correctly, it's either going to be the Renegades or the Gambit team once again. They'd have a rematch there. I think that that'll actually be much better off in that matchup simply because of the fact that it is going to be a best of 3. Renegades have shown some pretty poor results in the past on best of 3s, and also Gambit are pretty inexperienced in playing a lot of best of 3s. They've only played 1 LAN previous to this, so I feel like Cloud9 would have the edge going into that next one, which is why I feel this one was the harder challenge for them.
Okay, well, Cloud9's still alive. Thanks up for your thoughts. We are going to go to a commercial break, but I just want to add that when we get back, this chap on the end is going to cast a game, which you haven't done for how long?
Thing is, as a little tease, I'm actually going to do it play-by-play, so I've never done play-by-play.
Never done play-by-play in your career? And I don't know, this is meant to be a major qualifier. I thought people were taking stuff seriously. Me and Blue are going to enjoy that one from the sidelines. You're going to be partnered up with Moses, is it?
Something like that. I'll probably just carry him.
Yeah, won't be the first time. So anyway, we're going to get back after a 5-minute break, and it's going to be Thorin and Moses casting Renegades versus Gambit. We'll see you soon.